RetouchXpress is a revolutionary tool for packaging prepress in Photoshop. It's an extension that guides you through the complete pixel prepress workflow with lots of automated steps. In this video, you will see a typical package design transformed into a perfectly printable artwork by Flexo technology. The first panel helps you preparing your file for the changes you will make later. The menu on the top helps you in administration. This option helps supervisors controlling the whole workflow, which is fully monitorable and non-destructive. All changes in the artwork is stored in the Photoshop file, so any part of the artwork can be inspected, evaluated, or restored even after the job is completed. Lead times can be measured and stored too. Since you, as a retoucher, receives the artworks from design studios, you often have to clean up the mess of the designers in the layer structure. This is a fully automated way to do it quickly and reliably. The model deletes hidden and empty layers, finds and eliminates off-canvas data you don't need. Underneath, the next panel needs to be filled out by the retoucher is the print simulation menu. For example, in Flexo printing, there's always a quite large minimum dot size that causes hard breakouts. Also, you will see a very significant dot gain that can be different by each plate. You can specify these parameters super precisely in this panel, so during the whole workflow you will have a real-time preview of how your artwork would look like in print. Basically, it turns your monitor to a real-time proofing device. Finally, the last step of the first panel is a drop-down menu where you can choose previously installed color profiles of the press. This way, you will not just work in the corresponding color environment, but your artwork will be converted to give you the best match in that particular color space. Let's open now typical artwork, duplicated to keep the original as a color reference. There is only one pre-made path in the image that will be used for the pattern channel. Otherwise, no layers, no selections, no alpha channels. There's no anything that may help your job. As we have filled out the first panel before, now I just click on Process, and after a few seconds the artwork will be ready for continuing the most spectacular part of the job. As you can see, the panel automatically changed to the next interface, where we already have print simulation that can be turned on and off. On and off. We recommend to work in on mode through the whole workflow. We also have a hard plate simulation and a Pantone simulation option if you have Pantone plates too. But let's get back to these later. Now we want to go on with automated plate separation actions. In a regular way of retouching, the principle is keeping maximum 3 inks out of CMYK, and it is usually achieved by masking all objects manually, then changing the plate information by curves or color mixer. In RetouchXpress, this process happens fully automatically, so the long manual process is made in just a few seconds. There are 2 ways for reducing the inks. Triplex's intelligent algorithm selectively eliminates one of the gray components depending on the local color it finds. So, a red apple will consist of magenta, yellow, black, while its green leaf will have only cyan, yellow, black, instead of having all the 4 inks in the whole image. No black option completely removes black ink while keeping the shadows and the color intensity by using only cyan, magenta and yellow. For Pantone inks and only black objects, you have to create a selection, otherwise the rest of the job is also automated. Here's an example for the milk splash, a typical nightmare in Flexo printing. You choose the selection, apply it, then you can change the Pantone number and the contrast. You can even mix one of the process inks underneath. Once you are done with the separations, you can go to the next panel by clicking on the right arrow here. You will find the breakout adjustment options and the clean fill features here. We recommend setting the breakouts first. For each ink, you can have one or more breakout settings. The first setting usually applies to the whole image, while the new settings can be applied to only a part of it. Let's see an example how the black plate is changed to get a good breakout and still match the original image. Please note that the print simulation is on, so what you see here is already what you will get on the print. If you'd like local breakout change, you may ask a new setting, then make the change, and by clicking on the erase button, then rebrushing where you needed it, you will have that breakout only at the desired part of the artwork. Clean and Fill menu has great tools for finalizing the breakout limits and tidy up pixel mass. If you want to fill up with minimum dot, it's just one click on the brush, and as you paint, it fills up with the value you set as a minimum dot previously in the very first panel. Auto Clean is a very useful built-in automation for eliminating scattered pixels. It removes all standalone 1 pixels. If you clean something that you don't want, don't worry. You can erase your fault and do it again. You can also turn on and off each clean out or fill up layers, including Auto Clean, just as you did with the breakout settings. Now you can check the retouched parts of the artwork by clicking on Screen Simulation. You can even see the dots here, including dot gain, breakouts. This is very close to what you get from the press eventually. The last panel is where you can make the final touches. Once everything is set and looks good, you may apply the trappings depending on the register accuracy of the press. You can pair trapping inks by clicking on the channels, and you can define the size and the direction, inside or outside. If you are a prepress retoucher, adding RetouchXpress to your Photoshop toolset ultimately saves you valuable time. Learn RetouchXpress today.